So, one thing that I am noticing a lot of, especially over the last few weeks, is an extreme lack of awareness in children and even teenagers. And I'm not talking about a lack of awareness with regards to their emotions or their thoughts, but a general lack of awareness of what is going on in their surrounding environments. My main thing that I am seeing on a daily basis and multiple times throughout a day is things like something that I'm seeing on a daily basis is things like children, like 7, 8, 9 year olds, walking into my bike as I'm cycling along the bike path. They're just literally walking into me. Or they are running into each other. They're running into spaces that are unsafe, whether it be the road or whether it be, somewhere that's just like completely unsafe, inappropriate. And just this complete lack of awareness of what is going on around them to the point where it's actually putting themselves in danger. And yeah, as I say, this is something that I'm seeing multiple times throughout the day. Now, obviously, there are children and teenagers with different, neurodiversities. We have our brain, all of our brains work very differently. But this is something that I am seeing in so many children and teenagers that I just feel that it's something that they're lacking, that they haven't developed this awareness of their surroundings. And if they don't have a basic understanding and awareness of their own surroundings to the point of keeping themselves out of danger at the age of 10 years old, how on earth do we expect them to have an awareness of what's going on inside their own body, their own emotions, and their own mind? Yeah, there's just no way that they can be there's no way that they have the skills to be able to understand their own emotions if they don't have the basic skills of being able to cross the road safely at the age of 12 years old, or being able to walk safely along a bicycle path without just walking into a bike that is moving. So there are some really simple ways that we can help children and teenagers develop this general awareness, so that's going to help them to hone into those skills where they can develop this awareness of what's going on in the mental body, what's going on in the mind and their emotions, what's going on in the physical body, what are the sensations that they're feeling, what is their intuition telling them. So in order for them to develop those skills, they need to have an awareness of the general environment, their general safety, and what is going on around them. And so some ways in which we can do this are super simple. The most simple things are often the most effective. So firstly, we can just get them to lie down in, whether it be in the park, or if you're at home, getting them to lie down in the garden or even in their bed. If they're in the classroom, getting them to lie down on the ground, or just placing their, head on their hands on the desk and closing their eyes and noticing what sounds can they hear. This could just be 1 minute. It is a meditation technique, but it is such an amazing way to get them to be fully aware of the sounds that they can hear. So they're only relying on their sense of hearing, and it really heightens their awareness of what is going on around them in their environment. So it's a very simple meditation technique, concentration technique. You can do it anywhere. The second thing that you can do is getting them to just stop and observe something around them. Children at the age of 18 months do this by nature. You will see, you'll be walking in the park and the 18-month-old will just stop and look at the flower that they see or the ants on the floor, because they're so curious and they're just natural observers. And unfortunately, because of the way that the world is and we're so fast paced and we're always going somewhere, we allow that maybe for a couple of months, and then it's like, okay, now we need to go, hurry, 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 hurry. And so they lose those observational skills and they kind of lose some of that curiosity. So I understand, obviously, you can't just stop every time a 4-year-old wants to look at a flower, otherwise that's all you would do all day long. But you can give them opportunities for that on a daily basis. So when you take them to the park, or they're playing in the garden, or even in the house somewhere, set aside 1 minute or 2 minutes where you just stop and notice something. It can be in the house as well, or in your apartment. You just stop and notice the wallpaper. Like, oh my gosh, what kind of different colors and patterns can you see? You look out the window at the sky. What can you notice in the sky? What do you see? What colors are? What shapes of the clouds are there? Do the clouds look light or heavy? Just really noticing something, look at the spider on the floor. How does it move? What is it doing? Just get curious about it, but really just stop, notice, observe. Okay, if they can do that about a spider on the floor, then they are going to learn the skills on how to stop and notice and observe their own body, their own breath, their own thoughts. Okay, so this is really essential, super simple, but what you're applying to the outside world, we then apply to the internal world. But it's a lot easier to stop and observe what a spider on the floor is doing and how it's moving, versus stop and notice how you're feeling and the sensations and the emotions. They need to develop these skills through something that's a bit more tangible before they can then start going internal. So noticing the sounds around them, noticing something that they can see, bringing awareness to something that they can see, and then also talking about consequences. So it could be, from a very, very young age, I'm talking 8 weeks old, a baby lying on their mat will, hit the bell that's above the play mat, and they learn that the consequence is when they put their hand on the bell makes a sound. And they will decide whether they like that sound or they don't like that sound. If they like that sound, they'll keep hitting the bell. If they don't like that sound, they'll probably cry, and then they won't continue to hit the bell. So from a really, really young age, they are starting to learn about consequences of their own actions and their behaviors. And again, we kind of get out of this when we should be, as adults, we should be encouraging this. We should be drawing their attention to it. So again, from a young age, just talking about what is the consequence if you walk into a moving bike. The consequence for sure is that you're going to be hurt, and that is going to feel physically painful. Then when they're a bit older, you might talk about that same scenario, but how would it feel emotionally? Oh, you might feel embarrassed, yeah, or you might feel scared, yeah. So you talk about the emotions. And then you can also talk about how might that impact the other person? How will it impact the cyclist? How will it impact the other people around you? How will it impact the environment? Okay, so just starting to talk about like expanding their awareness of consequences of their actions, of their behaviors, of their thoughts, of their words. So it's we just need to be teaching children these awareness techniques, but firstly through tangible things, and then going deeper into it. So if they are able to have awareness of the surrounding sounds in their environment, then that's teaching them the skills slowly to then have awareness of what's going on inside your body. What can you physically feel? Then having the awareness of, okay, what can you emotionally feel? What are the sensations that you feel? How is your thoughts impacting your emotions? How are your emotions impacting your physical body? But we need to start with something tangible first of all, because you can't just go straight in with, how do you feel emotionally today? Sometimes they really don't know, and they're just going to say, I feel happy, I feel sad, but actually they don't know. So all of that comes from awareness. And yeah, that's why I came on today, because I've just noticed over the last couple of months particularly that children have a real lack of awareness of their surrounding environment. And I just think, how on earth are these children able to have any kind of awareness of their own thoughts and emotions and their body if they don't have the basic awareness of what they're doing in the world? So these techniques take literally 1 minute a day. Whether you're a teacher, a parent, a caregiver, a therapist, you have any kind of interaction with children, you can set aside 1 minute a day to either get them to lie down and listen to sounds, or get them to stop in the park, look out the window, in the car, look out the window. What's something that they can see and observe and notice. And these are the really basic first steps of developing awareness, not just to keep them safe in the world, but so that then they can start to develop awareness of their own thoughts, their own behaviors, and most importantly, their own emotions. So if this is something that resonates with you, comment below. If this is also something that you're seeing in the world, I don't know, maybe this is only Dubai, but I'm pretty sure it's not. And who knows why this is happening now. Maybe we've always been really unaware and I just happen to be noticing it right now. Or maybe it's just the impact of the world and how we do spend a lot of time with our faces on a screen, like you are now. So who knows why it is, but let's focus on developing that awareness, those awareness skills in children, teenagers, and also ourselves, because honestly, it's not just children that are walking into my bike as it's coming towards them. I see lots of adults doing it too. So yeah, comment below and let me know if this is something that you've seen in your community, in the world, and if you've got any awareness techniques that you like to use in your kids' yoga classes or in your work or at home with your children.